So it's been a little bit since I made a video of any kind. I've been pretty busy, had a lot of stuff going on the last few months. I might make a video talking about that a little bit and some other things. But today I want to talk about Camp Carnage. The camp, I just came back from, sponsored by the Knights Hall where I train. It was essentially a 3-day camp. And my experience there, why I think these types of camps are important, and why you should go to camps if you can, on top of your regular team training and such. So I do want to apologize for the first bit of audio that you're going to see at camp. I recorded it live there, didn't have my mic with me, but I thought it was important to kind of hear also just the stuff in the background and kind of get a feel for what an event like this is like. I'm going to voice over after that point, so it should clean up if you continue to watch through the whole video. Camp Carnage here, and we're doing a 3-day training. So we have Friday night fights, Saturday all-day training, Sunday all-day training, and this is a bunch of fighters from New England and all over the country here for a 3-day training camp. Primarily training for Carnage coming up in February. These kind of training camps are really important. If you have one locally or one that you can travel to, it's really important to get together for time and spend that time working through things. This is not a 3-day fight training. We're not fighting and sparring all the time. We are working through specific drills and movements. We did them out of armor first, kind of training along through them. Now we're in soft kick, doing it this way so that we have the ability to start practicing with weapons in our hand. And then we're going to move to steel later in the day and then practice real steel, right? So the idea is a progression of your skill to start develop and kind of build it into your muscle memory, into your intuitive process, and working through very specific sets of moves. We will do some sparring. Sparring's fun. We'll do some just fighting. But you can do that anytime. Get together with your team and do that. These camps are opportunities to come together and work on specific things, right? We have different instructors. We have people who travel.
So I apologize for that audio. I did think, like I said, it's important that you kind of hear what the event sounds like live and kind of all that's going on. I did that while another training was going on. Why did I do it then? Because it really wasn't a moment that we weren't training unless we stopped for food and lunch. What you can see here is we're working through drills, 3 different groups, and they're working through specific techniques that we've been training out of soft kit. And now we're adding soft kit in, soft kit being the foam weapons, working on how to counter different throws, step around. You can see how to hop around if you're in a bad position. And we did a bunch of different drills throughout the day. I think one of the most fascinating things about coming to a camp like this is getting to see all these different people with different techniques, different lessons. Oh, one of our fighters there, really excited to be on camera. And as we transition into armor, you can actually see it's the same drill that they were doing here as a kind of step around, how to hop over that leg if someone's trying to throw you. On the other mat, we had some long sword sparring going on in foam. We did a mix of foam sparring and steel sparring throughout the day, doing different kinds of trainings and practice. And some was very serious and some was just goofy too. I actually threw in here one of my rounds. This is a 2-on-1. I'm in the blue soft kit chest versus 2 fighters out of the Commoners Massachusetts team. And this was filmed on someone else's camera upright. I threw it in because I thought it was important just to show the intensity level difference between what you saw a second ago in the long sword sparring and then a more aggressive sparring round like this. Part of being able to sustain yourself and stand up in a 2v1 and survive for a while, that's really what we were working on, what I was working on. We broke there for a minute because we were worried about hitting that back wall. I was really focused in this part on controlling space, making sure I stayed on the mat, making sure I could direct bodies into each other, and really just kind of having fun with it as well.
Well, one of the... Goddamn, Chuck.
And while this training is important, it's also just fun to get together with groups of people, spend time as a community, and learn together. As I said before, we had fighters from all over the country, mostly New England, of course. And this is an opportunity for the New England community to have their own big camp. There are other great training camps around the country. There's Winter Camp, there's Balls, there's other ones I can't remember the names of. And if you can get to those, attend them. If you come to ours, attend ours. I would love to go to winter camp. It's hard for me to get extra travel time outside of fighting, so if you're in the New England area, it's easier for me to go to this one. We had other types of classes. This is a Sunday afternoon class, one of the last ones, I believe, before we wrapped up for the weekend. The format for this weekend was Friday night was a show. Anyone who had armor could come and fight. So we had a lot of fighters show up for that Friday night. Show started on 7. We had fights, an audience, and a big event. Saturday, you wake up. We had breakfast at 9, and you trained until 7, 8 p.m. Then there was open sparring after that. Hang out for a while, go to bed. Then it was the next day, Sunday, back to it. Working now on two-handed axe strikes, working on technique, form, muscle, conditioning, all the different things you can work on, and running through those drills and just working through this. I really appreciated this time that we had together. I encourage you, if you're around, to come to Carnage. Another big one the hall is doing is Valhalla, which is the whole fight festival as well as training camp. So there's a ton of different training fights available and other things. And at the end of this, I just have some people telling me their thoughts on their camp.
This weekend I was at Camp Carnage, put on by the Knights Hall. It was an absolute blast. Literally learning from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. No, later than that. It's like 12 or 13 hours of just nonstop learning how to efficiently work as a team, how to hit better, fight better, defend myself, keep myself safe. It was a blast, tiring and good.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to learn all this technique, all this strategy, sort of almost relearn my fundamentals from learning the things I was doing that was wrong, and now just learning the correct form for stuff.
I had a great time, learned a lot. Everyone was wonderful and inviting, and I mean, it was a great place just for tons of knowledge, lots of people from the sport that have been here forever and ever and ever. Had a great time, learned a lot, definitely going to come back.
I feel like it went pretty well. Learned some stuff. There was some grease. This is definitely the greasiest Buhurt training camp I've been to since the inception of grease. No, it's good. It's good to see different instructing methodologies and different ways of describing fundamental techniques, because the greater one's vocabulary and understanding these things increases the base knowledge for everybody. And that was the best part about it. Seeing Dustin explain exactly why 15 different glute stretches makes you the peak athlete that he undoubtedly is. We aspire to get between those thighs. Metaphorically speaking, to understand how he deconstructs the thickness. See you at Carnage.